Have you ever watched a movie and thought, man, these guys are really acting gay? Yeah, that was me when I watched Sonic 3 a while ago and got to know Dr. Stobotnik and Agent Stone. And back then I didn't even watch the first two movies. I was actually with my siblings at the cinema and they got told they're not allowed to go there unless I go with them. So I just sacrificed some of my time and went with them and paid for entry. And I left the cinema devastated about Shadow and some gay man, and I didn't even expect it would happen. And that's basically how I got into the Sonic fandom space. I started watching shows like Sonic Boom and Sonic Prime. But the more I analyzed the relationship of these two guys, I realized it's actually kinda gay and it's not just a queer teenager self-projecting. So I was thinking and thinking, are these characters queer-coded or are they queer-baiting us? In the first movie, we were given some moments that gave the impression there was some unspoken sexual tension between these two characters. It was mostly Dr. Stobotnik's aggressive affection. I don't really know how to call it, but if you watch the movies, you know what I'm talking about.
No, I thought that maybe I should check to see if you were okay. You know what's hard about being the smartest person in the world?
Everyone else is stupid. Yes! Way to go!
Pin yourself to the wall.
Being pinned to a wall usually has the connotation to a passionate making out session. And they're doing it just like that, like it was a regular thing to do.
Ah! I just thought you might like a latte with steamed Austrian goat milk.
What do I look like, an imbecile? Of course I want a latte. I love the way you make them!
Now, it's the first time he directly shows care. Still, the bunny doesn't treat Stone well, which can give conflicting feelings about how healthy their relationship is. However, all of this is strongly contrasted by the ending of the first movie and the beginning of the second movie. There we see that Stobotnik actually misses Stone and struggles a lot without him. He was teleported to the mushroom world, and one of the first things he did was pick up a rock and name it Stone after his only and dearest companion, which tells us he secretly cares about him but just doesn't know how to show it. Still, we have many open questions, such as why is Agent Stone so patient with the Doctor? Well, that's answered us in the comics. In the first movie, Stone's role is to make contrast between him and the Doctor, so we understand better how unhinged the Doctor is. Now, he's getting some spotlight of his own, and we get to see how he behaves when he is alone. Surprisingly, he thinks low of everyone around him who isn't as smart as him and treats them horribly, just like the Doctor does with him. Stobotnik left behind his manifesto describing how to handle people he deems as less worthy. We understand that Stone admires the Doctor since he's the most intelligent person in the world. However, this explanation is given us in the comic, something that only fans will read, not the major audience of the cinemas. This is the only non-romantic reason we're given for Stone's passion for the Doctor. And it's kinda tricky to find it. And it's not even made that obvious, it's just a pretty logical conclusion many people have come to and I agree with. Originally, Stobotnik was supposed to mistreat Stone in the second movie too, but these scenes were deleted. They wanted to change the dynamic of their relationship to be less toxic, probably because of the popularity of the ship. Here's also when we are actually given the impression there might be a one-sided crush from Stone's side. A pretty beloved scene is the scene of Stone making a latte with both of the faces and several hearts. Another subplotline is his jealousy towards Knuckles after he entered an allyship with Dr. Stobotnik, and he low-key acts like a simp, which is actually kind of funny. All of these scenes, except the latter one, don't really scream homosexuality, but with the context we have, it looks like a puzzle that is being slowly built. The climax of their relationship was in the latest movie of the franchise. Sonic and his gang meet Stobotnik and Stone again. Fun fact, we were supposed to see a flashback of Stone saving Stobotnik after the fall in the second movie. It's not explicitly romantic, but for us shippers, it's clearly a sweet moment. Later on, someone gets Stobotnik's attention more than Stone's, again. His actor admitted he became kinda jealous during an interview, which was kinda obvious anyway. I was watching the movie with my homophobic parents and my mom drew the same conclusion, so it's pretty canon. In another deleted scene, Ivor introduces his long-lost grandfather to his live streams. Of course, Stone spams him with hearts, is his biggest fan, and looks very proud of himself. He cares more about the dog than he deserves. He becomes, rightfully, suspicious about Gerald and wants him, even though he couldn't just ignore his suspicions, since he was never treated well anyway. Ivor, believing his family must be the people who care most about him, dismisses that as jealousy or obsession. We can understand why he drew these conclusions. His grandfather is actually similar to him, and Stone stuck around with him, probably for several years, for no reason at all. They had this discussion on call, and when he hangs up on him, Stone mumbles to himself this.
I can't lose you again.
Again, he shows too much care for someone who mistreated him for a long time. Eventually, Gerald reveals Stone was right all along, and took advantage of Ivor. That's when Ivor noticed he actually had someone who cared about him all along in front of his nose. He realized he should have judged that based on actions, not his intelligence or how similar they are. Stone becomes the motive for his decision to save the Earth. Either way, he had to die, but he made the choice to allow Stone to live. He could have cared less about the world. Everyone treated him weirdly because of how unique he is. But Stone made the difference. That's why he dedicated his last words to Stone, not even knowing if he'll see that or not. Stone gets to see that while he's standing in front of the statue of Anteros, the Greek god of requited love. Again, it's nothing big, but it's a small hint that is interpreted that it's implied they had mutual romantic feelings at the end. When asked about the relationship, the actors make a very clear statement. It's special.
I just want to let you know, I support all Stobotnik art, fanfic, it's great. As long as we're not harming anybody, it's all good. And I don't know, old man Yowie's cool sometimes too, I guess. Toxic Yowie's the
All of Robotnik's friendships are transactional, but Stone is the only man that kind of creeps through. You know what I mean? I think there's a special feeling for Stone. I think he's
I'm
he's
actually getting
special
emotional
guy.
right
Yeah, he's chiseled a rock that he named Stone because whether he likes it or not, he is kind of attached to the guy. He hates to say the word friend, but, that would probably be the category Stone went into. He would say sycophant, probably.
Is Agent Stone jealous of Gerald Robotnik?
I don't appreciate you bringing that up. You ask about jealousy? No, of course, not jealous whatsoever. Yeah, Grandpa shows up and I guess, Agent Stone doesn't exist anymore. Not jealous, definitely not.
No.
I'm great at lying.
Oh.
Yeah, no, yeah, I think there's definitely some jealousy there for sure.
Doctor, where are you?
I knew you'd come back, sir.
Down low. Too slow. I missed you, Stone.
Robotnik and Agent Stone. You know what? I don't want to rule anything out. Any couple that can stay together, while they abuse each other so terribly, really, there has to be something else going on there.
I'm not going to confirm nor deny any of that. I will just say that Agent Stone has an admiration for Robotnik that many people don't understand. And I don't think he needs to explain himself.
Now, what do I think about the situation? Well, I think this is pretty tricky. The creators never went out on the internet and said we are going to receive queer content. An example of someone doing that is the creator of Miraculous Ladybug, who confirmed half of the cast is queer outside of the show, but showed almost nothing at all in the show. But this isn't also the typical censor, as we've seen with some Disney shows. The Art House was cancelled because of many queer characters, which is pretty sad. But the thing is, the creators never went out on the internet and said we are going to receive queer content. An example of someone doing that is the creator of Miraculous Ladybug, who confirmed half of the cast is queer outside of the show, but showed almost nothing at all in the show. But this isn't also the typical censor, as we've seen with some Disney shows. The Art House was cancelled because of many queer characters, And Amphibia wanted to show a sapphic couple, and that had to be toned down too. In Star vs. the Forces of Evil, the writers would have loved to write a self-discovery journey for Marco, realizing he's a trans woman, but that vision never had the chance to become reality. With Stobotnik, they never hyped us up, making us believe something big is going to come, and then disappoint us. Ivor could have ended a relationship with Stone anyway because of the issues he has. It was clear from the beginning it was impossible for them to become a couple, as long as Stobotnik doesn't acknowledge he can be cared of unconditionally. Obviously, they could have dropped a love confession at some point, such as when Stone was talking to himself after Stobotnik blocked him, or during Stobotnik's live stream. However, something some people seem to forget is that writers aren't obligated to show queer characters, and sometimes storylines like these are made up to interpretation with a genuine intention. For example, the movie The Wish Dragon did a similar thing with a boy and a girl. Throughout the whole movie, it's unclear if the protagonists have romantic feelings for each other or not. And at the end, they just hold hands. Most people would have expected them to get together and might have been disappointed. But are we cutting off the heads of the writers for wanting to write a relationship that was special, but never specify whether it's platonic or romantic? No, we're not. Sometimes some relationships are made to never reach a romantic level, but still be emotional, or to be up to interpretation. I personally value romantic and platonic relationships the same, since I care more about the quality, not the form of the relationship. And I have to admit that Stobotnik's and Stone's relationship is intriguing, no matter what direction it's taking. Something even more interesting is the fact that their relationship wasn't even planned at the beginning. Stone wasn't even supposed to speak. He had to just accompany the doctor so he's not alone. But the actors, Jim Carrey and Lee Majdoub, understood each other so well. Jim insisted on making a character for Lee. Stone and Stobotnik's whole thing was improvised from the very beginning. It's very difficult to plan to tease fans with queer content and then deliver nothing if you don't even know what you're going to deliver. A lot of their relationship is a reflection of how much the actors like each other, not the writing with the intent to fool someone. I think their relationship is a genuine influence from the actors to make the movies more interesting, and I think they made an excellent job with it. And you can easily tell they did, judging by how many fanarts and edits there are out there. Stobotnik is not queerbait. I'm pretty sure that's not the intention they had with it. And I can't wait to watch the next movie. Obviously, I'm manifesting that Stobotnik is coming back, is going to kiss Stone, and is going to treat him better than ever before. Yes, I'm a delusional fan. Leave me alone. I'm busy staring at cute fan arts and watching fan edits. Trust me guys, Stobotnik is coming back, and trust me guys, Stobotnik is coming back and everything will be better. That's definitely what's going to happen.
I hope you can deal with all this, Riz.